It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Hello to all. Welcome to Divas That Care Network. I am Joyce Banning, and I will be your host for this totally invigorating, robust lifestyle show. I would like to thank each one of our listeners that have tuned in live today and the ones that will be listening to the recording on the podcast. I am just so very grateful and thankful for each and every one of you. And you are all in for a very special show today, as I have with me my returning monthly diva, Beth Lauren Parrish. And her and I are going to chat about the art of letting go. Oh, wow, is this going to be incredible. Beth, could you please introduce yourself to our listeners today?
Of course. Thanks so much, Joyce. I'm Beth Lauren Parrish, and my business is called Inspired Riding. I'm a certified riding instructor, remote coach, and rapid transformational therapy practitioner, which is a unique form of hypnotherapy. I help my clients really learn how to slow down and trust their intuition so they can listen to their horses deeply and have the best co-creative dances together, whether they're on the ground or on their backs.
Oh, wow. Oh, I love that. I love every time you introduce that because I'm like, oh, man, have that co-creative dance with your horse. You said whether they're on their back or whether they're on the ground, and just that beautiful connection of listening to your intuition. I love it.
Thank you so much.
But you are so welcome, Beth. How, with everything you're doing, how would you like to start to chat with our listeners today about the art of letting go?
Well, it can go in so many directions. So I decided before this interview I wanted to just sit down and take a moment and breathe and tune in with my intuition and find out what would be the best way to start. So I'll just read what I wrote, and I think it'll resonate. So I want you to imagine a horse is rolling on the ground, rolling, and then the moment they get up, if you've ever seen a horse roll, they do this really intense shake, and the dust floats off, right? It's like shaking off excess, letting things go. And it looks so satisfying as you watch it. But I wonder if you've ever been on a horse, riding a horse, when they do that kind of shake. And it happens every once in a while. And it can be quite startling. I call it the earthquake because it feels like all of your insides are being shook like you're in a shiatsu massage. So your body feels kind of rattled. I've even seen little riders like pop off, and then we get them right back on when that happens. So I just wanted to say that shaking off excess doesn't have to feel that intense, but it really can for some, depending on the situation. So when you're used to moving and being and doing things in a particular way, letting go of that routine can literally feel like an earthquake in your life. So what I want to do is offer some gentle ways to help things feel slightly more graceful when it's time to let go of things. How's that sound?
Oh, that sounds beautiful. I absolutely loved it because that was such a good example of when a horse rolls and then they get up and it's like they're shaking all of it off. I'm just going to let all that go. And yes, I've been on a horse many times when they just start to shake, and I'm like, oh, my goodness, you are. It's like your whole insides are shaking. And the thought just ran through my mind when you said that. Is the horse possibly sensing something that we, as the human rider, needs to shake off and let go?
It's very possible. I mean, it could be them. It could be you. It could be a combination. It could be just saying, hey, you need to release some tension, lady, and breathe. So,
right.
And I know that Pepper will often do the horse eye, and then he'll remind me to do it, and then sometimes I'll do it, and I'll remind him to do it. So you just never know in the moment. It could be them. It could be you. But when they do it, just take note, like, okay, was I holding on to something? Do I need to let go of something? It's really important to notice that. So that's a great question. So it just depends like anything else.
Yeah. Well, it just came to my mind when you were saying that, and I thought, oh my, it just kind of resonated that, I'm sure us humans many times, because the horses want us to be in the present moment, and when we're hanging on to all these other thoughts and things, we're not quite in that present moment that we need to be, and it's just like, okay, time to shake, and you need to let go of all of it, too. We'll just shake it off together, and I love that.
Absolutely, and horses have a knack for bringing us back. Like I've been known to like walk around. I call it sleep riding. You just kind of zone out because you're just like so used to being in the saddle for all the thousands of hours you've done. I've had moments where the horse will spook for a split second, and it's one of those like scoot forward spooks, like really easy to just stay with them, and then all of a sudden you just kind of like rattled back into your body, like, oh yeah, I'm on a horse. It reminds you. So yeah, they're excellent at that. It's a really good point.
Oh, I love that. That's very true too. It's like, oh yeah, okay, this is where I'm at this moment. So yeah.
And then I probably apologize. Sorry, I zoned out. I'm with you now. Yeah.
I'm back here now.
That's part of being human. Exactly.
Oh, I love that. Oh, how perfect. Well, after that, then how do you feel people, humans, we've given an example how horses do and how horses are probably picking up on what us humans need to let go. How are some of the ways you feel that the humans can come into contact with this and realize they've got things bottled up, that they need to just let it go, just let it flow out?
So I wrote down a bunch of steps. I mean, you can use them or not, or you can go in any order you like, but here's a fun way to start. You can start by identifying what you'd like to let go of by actually asking your heart. So you can just place a hand on your heart and start breathing there. And then ask your heart, what do I need to let go of? And this is actually exactly what we do in my Inspired Riding Connection group. It's a private monthly coaching group. And every time we're in a Zoom meeting together, we connect and they ask questions, but then I lead them through a meditation. And it's always the theme of the month. And the theme of the month, of course, is the same here, is letting go, shaking off excess. So we ask our inner guidance, our heart, what do we need to let go of? And then we get insights. And then from there, we connect with one of our horses or multiple horses, and we ask them what do they need to let go of. And then we thank them for that. And then we ask them what they think we need to let go of. And so I had a moment where Pepper told me he wanted to let go of feeling like he always had to be perfect. And I thought that was such a beautiful thing to come up with, because we always joke and call him Perfect Pepper Pony, you know. And he's like, I am that, but I don't want to have to feel like I always have to be that. So I thought that was just a beautiful message. And that's a great message for people, too. It's like, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. And then he told me that I should start really practicing letting go of control. And he suggested it would be okay to go back to the bridleless riding. So what we do is I use a bridleless guide that I got from Unbridled Wings. And it's this beautiful wire. It has a nice grip on it. It's very gentle. You put it over the horse's neck. And I saddle up so I'm secure in my seat. And then I took him out into the woods yesterday with no bridle and just that bridleless guide. And I really attempted to get him to go on the trail that I created. And he kind of wandered off of it. And I'm like ducking around trees. I'm like, okay. And then I convinced him to go back on the trail. And got back on the trail. And then we approached this log that we had jumped the other day with the bridle. And I just went, are you ready? And he was like, let's do it. And he jumped it and cantered up the hill. And we were flying. And then all of a sudden I'm like, we're going to run into trees. And I just went, whoa, whoa, whoa. And he stopped. I was like, oh, good job. Your brakes are working. And then I couldn't stop laughing. And then he was like really peppy. And he brought me to the arena. We trotted a little. And then he promptly brought me back to Indy and said, okay, you're done. We've run out of quarters. That was so funny. He's like, I did the fun thing, you know you loved it, and scene. Yeah. So that was a big letting go of control because I was jumping and cantering up the hill, and there, you just have to go with it. And the beautiful thing is I don't have any of those intrusive thoughts like I used to, especially with jumping. When I had a friend do an RTT session on me, this is what I do for people, and we realized why I was getting butterflies for jumping through that session. And so now it's just a joyful thing. I don't have any nervousness about it. And the fact that I can do it without a bridle now still astounds me. So that's a huge letting go moment.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that is a beautiful letting go moment. I love it. Oh, wow. And I love what Pepper said, that I don't always have to be perfect Pepper, that he's just as he is. And I love that, because to me, we're perfect as you are. And people need to see those unique gifts that they have to offer. And I love that Pepper brought that out. That was beautiful. I had to bring that out. And I love how you went bridleless with him and did the jump. And I'm thinking of Pepper. I bet he just felt on top of the world, because you had let go of that bridle. You had trusted him. You'd let go of them fears. The butterflies were gone from your stomach about the jumping over the log. And, I'm sure he was just as excited as you were. So,
he was into it. It was cool.
I believe it. He was loving it just like you were. I love it. What a beautiful, beautiful story. That is heart-touching, because I can just see and feel the energy that was coming from both of you, because you were both so excited that you had let go. And what a beautiful feeling that was. Oh, that was beautiful, Beth.
Thank you so much. And then it got me thinking, I think I can set up my camera with my phone to record that little section if we are careful not to bump into the tripod on our way up. That would be pretty fun. Because I think it would be so neat to have that in a video form, so I could look back and go, oh, we really did that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and it'd be something good to show your clients that, yes, we really did this. This is what we did. This is the trust that we have between each other, and how that builds when you just let go. Oh,
absolutely. Oh, and for those who don't really know me too well, I've had multiple surgeries and I have a lot of metal implants in my body, so I'm extra careful about what I do, and I use my intuition very clearly. Am I ready for this? And if I'm not, I don't do it. So I'm very clear about what I feel I can do. And honestly, a few years ago, I would have thought this notion was crazy. And I'm really grateful that I just followed the path little by little and tested it out. And the experimenting is it's really fulfilling. So I want to encourage people, if you feel like doing stuff like that, like literally have someone on the ground and let your horse follow them, like for a few steps, just to like give yourself some security. Like you can go that slow, so you don't have to feel like you have to go ride out in the wilderness without a bridle straight away. Like I don't recommend that. Do it little by little, or even if you just drop your reins while you're going along, put them around a grab strap or a horn, depending on your saddle, and see what your communication's like that to start out. And you can always grab your reins if you need to. Yeah. So there's always ways to work your way up. Yeah. Okay, I should probably keep going on my list, because I can talk more about that. So once you come up with what you want to let go of, a really cool technique is to write it down on a piece of paper. It could be a small piece of paper. It could be a really big piece of paper if there's a lot of things you want to let go of. And then if you have what's called a burning bowl, you can tear it up and burn it in a burning bowl. If you don't, just do it right over the sink, so that way you won't cause any fires. And that's a really beautiful way to just like signify that you are letting go. It's a really beautiful ritual to do that. And then on a physical level, you can literally like imagine you are a horse shaking things out. You could start shaking your body one arm at a time, and then your legs, and shimmy your shoulders, and I love doing shake your face, where you just shake it and let your lips flap. You can't help but laugh when you do that. And it really helps you like release tension. And you can imagine that things are just floating away from your body. The other thing I love to recommend is on my YouTube channel. It's free. It's the Energetic Housekeeper Meditation. And it encourages you to clean up and clear out any energetic attachments that are no longer serving you. So you can imagine those energetic attachments from conversations or situations that are like weighing you down, and they literally can almost feel like power cords stuck to you. And so this meditation guides you to clean them up and clear them out. And it's like a 7 or 8 minute meditation. It's very short, and you're doing it while you're standing. So you're like standing in your power as you do it. So that's a really cool way to do that. You can just go to youtube.com/inspired riding and just look for the meditations, and you'll find it there. So those are the good ways physically to help you feel lighter and letting go of things. And then you can take a shower and just rinse it out and just imagine everything you want to let go of is just literally being washed out, going down the drain. And then you're all clean and clear, and you can focus on what you'd like to shift into without that heaviness of letting go. So one cool thing you can think of is sit down with a journal and write down step by step, what would the updated version of yourself be doing on a regular day? Would they be, how would they be moving about in the world? You know, how would they respond to other people? How would other people respond to them? It like super detailed, like what would you be eating? What kind of exercise would you be doing? How would you literally move around? Would you feel like your posture is better? Things like that. And write it out like you're writing a script for a movie. And then like feel like you're literally stepping into that and own that. And then I'll take a pause and see if you have any insights on that. I just realized I'm going full steam ahead.
All of it was fantastic. I loved it. I wrote it down because I'm like, oh, my word, is this really, these are excellent activities that you can do just yourself. And it can apply to every single person on how to let go of the things you let go of. So that was great. You just keep on going, Beth. I loved them.
Oh, great. Thank you. So finally, a really big one. It's actually one of the first lessons I do in the Brave in the Saddle program. We call it flipping your script. So you go through everything you think about and say out loud about yourself, about your life, about your horses, whatever it is, and you decide what you want to flip. So if you're saying unproductive thoughts, then you flip them to something that will work better for you. So you can say something like, I feel a resistance to working out. You know, keep it simple. So you can say, I'm eager to start working out and honoring my body every day in new ways. Things like that. So it starts to like give you that glimmer of, ooh, I like that way better, you know. So if you start saying things out loud that are more productive, then you're really going to start shaping your world in a whole new way. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing, I literally just wrote a post about this. I got woken up at 3:30 in the morning the other day with this idea of what to write. And it was about grieving your older version of yourself. So for me, of course, it was when I was able to teach and ride all day long, and I would have 4 or 5 lessons, ride 2 or 3 horses in a day, and still running around and doing all the things. And then, of course, with all of these injuries, I'm lucky if I can ride 2 ponies in a day and not feel sore later. So there's a moment where you have to honor where you've been and let yourself grieve for that, and know that it's okay to be sad and own that. Because if you're riding along and all of a sudden you're like, oh man, I used to be so good at that. And instead of like holding on to that feeling like that things will never change, you can just say, okay, I'm really grateful that I had those moments. I'm sending love to my previous self. I'm sending love to my present self. And I'm sending love to my future self into this new way of being that we can just get into appreciation mode that I can even actually ride. I mean, that's huge, you know. Mm-hmm. So just taking those moments to just say, hey, it's okay if I don't feel 100% right now because I'm feeling sad because I couldn't do that. Or it's feeling sad because you lost a horse that you were simpatico with, and now you're trying to get to a new level with your new horse, and it's not quite right. So give yourself more grace is what I'm trying to say, and let go of the feeling of having to be perfect and having to get it just right and always progressing. Like, it's okay to, life is so much the cha-cha forward and back, It's really okay to take those moments and let go of these ideal feelings of, I have to do it this way. Letting go of the feeling of, I need to do it this way because that's the way I used to do it. It's like, you can just say, hey, it's okay. I can do it a different way, and that's going to be all right. So you just let go of that old perception of yourself and step into a new, updated version of yourself. And, you can even decide that this is like your new alter ego. And, I always pretend I'm like Wonder Woman whenever I'm in the gym. Like, I've got to work out so I can get strong and save people if I need to, stuff like that. And then it becomes way more fun. So you kind of activate these new energies within you. So if I get this twinge of pain in my leg from the plate, I just send love to it, and I might curse a little and then go, it's okay. I'll be all right. I can still do things. I'll make sure I just eat more non-inflammatory foods tomorrow, and I'll be all right. Things like that. So you just look for all the little things to like coach yourself and make yourself feel better, and let go of the negative stuff that's going to keep holding you back and make you feel heavy. So with that, there's a lot of things that can be holding you back that you're not aware of. And with all the hypnosis sessions I've been doing, close to 100 now in a little over a year, all remotely. There's usually some aspect in the session that surprises the client. They're like, wow, I'm so surprised that seemingly mundane scene that showed up was actually really significant when I was that little. And I've been holding on to that without realizing. So I guide them to let go of it. So if you feel like you're stuck and you just can't put your finger on it, these sessions can really be incredibly powerful and effective. And they can work in one session. Like, that's why we call it rapid. It's really amazing. So I want to encourage anyone, if you're listening and you feel like you're stuck in any aspect in your life, it doesn't have to do with horses, I'm here for you. So you just reach out. You can go to inspiredriding.com/RTT, or just go to inspiredriding.com and just scroll down. You'll see it. You can always email me too. So that was what I had for the art of letting go, Joyce.
Oh my goodness, there was so much in that. I just loved it. It's when, like, flipping your script, it's turning, rather than thinking a negative thought, think a positive thought. Rather than saying something negative, say something positive. It's just flipping it around, because when you're in that negative state, you're, in my instance, then you're more depressed, you're more down on yourself. All you can think of is the negative things. But when you flip it and start thinking of all the positive things and everything that you can be grateful for, it is totally amazing how your attitude can just flip in an instant when you do this. I have found that out so many times, that it just makes such a difference in your life when you take the positive side to things rather than the negative, and to be grateful for things that are around you. It's just
Absolutely.
Incredible. Yes.
Yeah,
and I love how
practice.
You say,
yeah.
Yeah, it does. It really does, because you're starting to go, why am I feeling like this? Why am I down? And it's like, oh, okay, what have I been thinking about? Where have my thoughts been going? Have they been going negative? Have they been going positive? Have I been going grateful? Have I been going ungrateful? So, yeah, it's just being in tune kind of with yourself and what you are doing. So I love that. And give yourself more grace. That was beautiful, too. Oh, how wonderful. Well, you talked a little bit about hypnosis. You and I, before the show started, were chatting. You have something very exciting coming up that you're going to be releasing with this hypnosis. Would you like to share with our listeners what that is?
Okay, I will. This is the first time announcing it in public. I've posted about it in my private group and on my personal timeline and Facebook. But so what I decided to do is to create self-hypnosis audios on more general topics. So there's actually just one for horse riders, but I really felt like it would be important to give people a taste of what it could feel like to do the hypnosis themselves. Now, of course, this is not going to help them get to the root cause of their issue, but it will help them really start to shift and flip those scripts, because what you think about is what your reality will shift into. So if you keep hearing suggestions every day or every night before you go to sleep, they're going to start to sink in, and then you're going to start to tap into that updated version of yourself the more you listen to it. And I came up with 8 different ones for now that I'm going to release first, and then I'll probably be doing more as time goes on. But what I came up with, and I asked a lot of people what they liked, and there were specific ones they liked, but there were a bunch of people that said, I love all of them. So I'll just tell you what they are. So I said, I'm going to be creating self-hypnosis audios. Which ones light up for you? So number 1 is come back to your calm state, because so many people have trouble coming back to, self-regulation. So I think that's really important. Sleep is my superpower. I know that if there's any moment, and I very rarely have sleep issues, but every once in a while, if I don't sleep, the next day I'm like, wow, how do people actually survive like this all the time? And I feel so much sadness for them. So I'm like, I want to help. So sleep is so important. And then the next one is I trust myself completely. So that'll help with trusting your intuition, of course, and self-confidence. And then install loving support for yourself. So kind of like installing your own cheerleader. Kind of what I was talking about, coaching yourself. And then calm, confident, and creative rider. So that's our horse riders one. And then healthy habits. If you want to start exercising, eating better, drinking more, meditating, all those things. And then indifference to old annoyances. Something I learned in my training with Marissa Peer is the opposite to love is not hate. It's actually indifference. So if you get really rattled by things like you're reading online or people say things, it would be so amazing for you to just go, whatever, and just keep moving on. And then you can actually get into choice about whether you want to be completely indifferent or you want to just send love to that person or that situation to help shift the energy. So that'll be included in there. So you have the power to choose, And then the last one is activate your creative focused flow, in parentheses, bye-bye procrastination. And that's pretty self-explanatory. Most people have some kind of blocks, So there you go. Those are my 8 topics that I'll be recording in the next week or 2 and releasing. Actually, I haven't told anyone yet, but I'm going to be releasing it as a subscription base, so people can listen to it and enjoy it at a reduced cost that way. And then anyone who subscribes can get discounts to my private session, so they could actually get to the root cause if they need to work deeper on these issues. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Those are 8 great topics. Oh, Beth, this is just incredible. Now, where will they be able to find these when they are released, this subscription?
I'll have them right there on my homepage of my website, inspiredriding.com, so it'll be easy to find. I'll make sure it's there.
Perfect. Oh, perfect. Well, listeners, you've heard. You are the first to hear. This was her announcement. So you're very special that you all got to hear this. This is incredible. And Beth, I would like to thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom with our listeners today. This was an incredible topic, and I know we could talk for much longer on it because there's so much more to do. We may have to do a part 2 because there's a lot to this, the art of letting go. So I would just like to thank you so much and wish you a very magical day.
Thank you so much. Same to you. I absolutely love being on this show. I really appreciate you.
Oh, well, thank you. The feeling is mutual. I always love our chat. So thank you again. And I would like to thank you. Are so very welcome, Beth. I would like to thank all of our listeners for listening to this amazing show with our absolutely incredible diva, Beth Lauren Parrish. Be sure and share this show with your family and friends. Check out all the other hosts and their shows on divasthatcare.com. And Beth will be back to share more wisdom and knowledge with you, listeners. And all of you have a magical day. And remember some of the nuggets she left with us. Give yourself more grace. And just put your hand on your heart and just connect and find out what you need to let go of. It will be amazing how you will activate new energies within you. So with that, everyone have a very magical day. Remember, be kind to all. Give your animals a great big hug and share your love with them until we connect again on Robust Lifestyles. Stay strong and healthy.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.